In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I create YouTube thumbnails, my thought process behind, what colors to use and what fonts to use, and how to actually make it A to Z, exactly how to make YouTube thumbnails that actually get clicks. The first thing that you need is a photo of yourself. I like to put, the creator in the thumbnail because it lets them know, like, this is your video. Nobody can take your face. For this example, I am just going to take a picture on my phone. Step one, you want some sort of lighting source. I have this soft box that's lighting me right now, but you can also use a window. I'm just gonna do a selfie, like this. That'll work. Here's the picture, just raw, unedited. All right, for this one, I'm making this funny face. Let's just say that this is gonna be our image. Okay, I'm making kind of a ridiculous face, which works. Okay, step one is actually getting a good picture of yourself that looks, in this sense, it's gonna be kind of crazy looking, but you can be serious, you can be funny, depending on what the video is actually gonna be. Now let's bring in our reference. We're gonna try and recreate this esque. First off, on this thumbnail, we have him wearing a red shirt, classic. Red shirts are good. Red, blue, yellow, and green. Remember that. There's a picture of him, which looks like he was cut out. There is a blurry background, which looks like, his desk, but I'll show you exactly what we'll use for our background. And then we have this whiteboard. So it looks like they just took a blank whiteboard, put it behind him. You can see there is a bit of a shadow behind there. Looks like there's a circle. That looks like it was drawn because of that imperfection right there. One background that I did find was this wood paneling here. And all I did was I added this Gaussian blur effect. You just turn that on and then crank it up. And I don't want it to be much more than it already is. And now we want to cut everything out. So I'm going to press W, which W is our selection brush tool. I like to start out with a wider brush by, hitting the brackets. And then I'll go over just a rough, just try to select myself as best as possible. This part doesn't have to be perfect. Then I zoom in, make my brush smaller. And then I go through and continue selecting, holding Option to subtract things. I want to give that crazy hairdo. Right there, I think is fine. Then we're going to go up to refine here. Click that, and that'll show us any areas where we might have missed. And I would say that looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and hit apply. And then I'm going to hit this mask tool, mask layer. Bam. Go ahead and hit deselect. So now I've added myself here. I can make myself bigger, smaller, however you want. Kind of on par with our reference here. Boom, there you go. Good thumbnail. Let's find a whiteboard. Go to Tools, Size, Large. All right, I like this whiteboard. This is the tedious part of making thumbnails. You guys just hang in there. But once you learn the skill, you get quicker and quicker. And mask it. Command D to deselect it. Now we have our whiteboard. I can also add a drop shadow to myself. That will help me look like I'm more part of the scene. And I'll show you how to make yourself look even better. Okay, the whiteboard is pretty big. It's behind his head. I think that should be good. So this is what we're left with right now. Probably move myself over a little bit. And if you don't like this style of thumbnails, that's okay too. I'm just showing you the techniques that I would use to create any thumbnail you want. And what's awesome about this is that you can go through and reuse. You can reuse the background, you can reuse the whiteboard, you can save it, and then making thumbnails is just going to be that much quicker for you. Because all you have to do is just pop in the elements and you're good. Before we add text, actually, I'm going to show you how to make myself look better. Select me, a curves adjust. Now I'm going to just darken darken up everything. And you're like, whoa, no, what are you doing? Just hold on a second. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to group it together. Command G, group it together. Now I'm just a dark one. Now I'm going to select curves, and we're going to use the gradient tool by pressing G. Now we can add a gradient to ourselves. You see what I'm doing? See what I'm saying? Now you can add a gradient, and now it looks, you can make it look a little more cohesive. I think overall that looks like it's popping out pretty well. Now let's add our text. Let's do like $1 million or 1.5 million a second. And you're like, Noah, that text looks terrible. I know, but it's gonna need some refining. And then I just scroll through, look at something that's pretty bold. You want it to be relatively consistent. Now, I've never done anything like this with circling it. So that's going to be new. Actually, what we could use is we could just find one. You don't have to make everything yourself. You can just look up, boom, there it is right there. Same process, because we do have to cut this out. Now we're solid. Something like that. Now let's check back with our reference. Here. Okay, now we need a couple more elements. Here, and here. Okay, let's pretend that we want to do like meta ads for like Facebook ads. I kind of like this. Okay, so it looks like we want to center this. I'll maybe move myself over a little bit. And now I still want to do that dollar sign thing. Like these little dollar signs right here. I'm holding option. And if we wanted to add the lines, we can. Rectangle tool. Just use that. Fill color to black. Probably make it a little bit thinner. Something like that. I can even make this look even more realistic if I change this to month. All caps, of course. There you go. Now you have... That is how to exactly recreate any thumbnail you really want. My thought process behind what exactly I do using Affinity Photo. And this took maybe 30 minutes. Spend some time on your thumbnails. If you're going to spend time making YouTube videos, you got to spend time actually making good thumbnails that people are actually going to want to watch. And how else are you going to learn from studying the greatest thumbnail creators on the planet Earth? Hopefully you were able to learn some things from what I was doing here. Some of the techniques. Obviously this isn't perfect. This isn't like a Mr. Beast thumbnail. If I can help you get 80% close to making a thumbnail that will actually get clicks, then I have done my job. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode on thumbnails. I tried to be straight to the point, exactly how I create YouTube thumbnails. Everybody is different. Obviously, if you use Photoshop, it's a little bit different, but this is how I make thumbnails, and hopefully this is a simple way that you can do this, even if you're using something like Canva. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.